Hey guys, welcome to the stream again, where timers are kind of irrelevant. Good to have you back. Glad to be back. Got to do a mild camera adjustment. Screw it. I have no idea what I'm doing anymore. Alright, well, whatevs. In fact, since I am done with spray paint, and go ahead and extricate that from my work area. Alright, so today is another big day, for me at least. I've got a couple of steps left to do on all of these uprights, and today is going to be the day where I start tucking into those. So we're going to grab one of my pallets, and you'll have to tell me if anything is out of whack again, because I have made some major changes to this entire setup, and I hope they are all for the better. I don't know. It's going into here for a thing. I don't think any particular need to do that. Alright, so we've got some stuff. I have no idea what I'm going to do with these, if I'm going to do anything with them. They're really cool little sculpts. Oops. Neat little bullhorn style speakers. Neat little things. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything with them because I can't think of anything to do with them. In fact, before I move on, let's move that out of the way and go into here for this. So, a thing that I forgot to do. Here it is. Awesome. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate you checking in on that. How you doing, buddy? Alright, so what I have here, I don't even know if you can see that. I can see that. Yeah, y'all can see that. That S is on backwards. That's hilarious. I might leave that backwards. Doing a think. Doing a lot of thinking. Right? Well, glad you're home safe, Kevin. I hope you have a relaxing evening, sir. You've earned it. More than likely dealing with crazy people all day. Um, hmm. Hmm. Oh, yeah. This is the curse, man, because I've got so many ideas, I don't know what to do with them. Alright, so the first thing I gotta do is get rid of the tab on the bottom of this so I can figure out what the hell I'm gonna do with all these other parts. Alright, well, that didn't come off cleanly at all. Remember what I said last stream about using the sharpest knife possible so when you cut the crap out of yourself, it's clean cut? I'm not listening. Oh, no. Alright, I does not like to cut. No, Spotify, we are not listening to that. Alright. The indecision. Do I glue up the letters first and then fit the speakers in around it, or do I glue the speakers in and then fit the letters around them? Alright, so alright, and just for those of you that aren't in the know, this is how you do this. You start on one side, and then you go to the opposite side and you fill. That way you don't have to worry about spacing. And what I'm going to do is actually... I've used way too much super glue on that. But what we'll actually do is, because I want that to go ahead and cure, let's go ahead and hit that with some catalyst. Oh, that was fantastic. Alright, we're going to have to pause for a second while I search for that. I don't know, I'm about to have to go buy more zip set. Zip kicker. What up, Big T? Am I gonna see you tomorrow? Yeah, no. I see you got your shirt. Oh, nice and safe, very uneventful. It's actually quite pleasant, you know, without revealing too much. It was nice to get to the dropping off location and then back before 9. It was actually just kind of nice. Alright, so what I tried to do is get that speaker super flush with the bottom. Alright, focus up here. Focus up here. Alright, which, speaking of, I gotta learn the kill team's rules in like 12 hours, so, yay! I mean, that's a lie, because anybody that's been with the stream for more than 20 minutes knows that I got my start in skirmish gaming. I need a wire brush. I need a wire brush. Just about as bad as I need anything else in here right now. That's scalloped. You're flat. Yeah, I need a wire brush. not opening yet for that bit. I'll go pick some of those up tomorrow at Harbor Freight. So anyhow, so I says to the guy, "Why are you being a chump?" I don't even know if you can see that. Not as clean as it could have been, but as far as demo work goes, I'm happy with it. What am I doing for Gaslands? Okay, this is a whole, well, half of a table. Unless you've been with us previously, I did a whole bunch of walls. I've got pictures, and I think they may have landed on my Instagram. I'm not sure. Instagram down here. I can't remember if I put them on there or not. But local gamer put together a really awesome Gaslands table through some Etsy artists, and is having me assemble, paint, and get it out. But you can see the grandstand I'm working on now, obviously. But he's got a slime themed play field, and oh, thanks for the follow. Right now I've got the first 8 gates ready to be washed, to do some extreme weathering. Like I've already weathered all of these guys pretty heavily. I've got to go back and do barrels and such. But he's got some cool terrain features that we're going to be using as the gates whenever he brings his stuff up. We've also got some direction markers that I'm having to restart because this was my initial plan, and we're actually going to be doing some other stuff with it, going with the yellow inside, like where you can see the khaki color, instead of being nice and caution striped. So think more like the Mario Turbo Boosters than direction markers. But lots of fiddly work with lots of 3D printed stuff. This is actually an HO model kit. He's actually doing it like it's a arena style racetrack, like the county fairs dirt track. I mean, sorry, I'm from the South, and in the South we have county fairs, and the county fairs and the state fairs have derbies and sprint car races and junk car races and just whatever. So I had this stigma bred into me that, like, there are just these racing arenas that just happen to be where people that race cars and do crazy stuff in it. So it clicks with me. But he's got Shantytown set up, and it does have a couple of buildings. It's got 2 buildings specifically and a nice windmill. I'm pretty sure there's pictures of the windmill and the buildings on my Insta. But don't hold me to that, and I've since cleaned up my phone, so all those pictures are on my home PC instead of my work PC. So, by the way, welcome to the stream. But right now, working on this guy because I've got to get, you can see the alphabet soup down here is going to spell out Gaslands across this. But what I was telling the guys earlier, and I wasn't sure if you were here for or not, when you're doing lettering, whether you're doing freehand lettering or something like this, where you're spacing out the letters, start on the ends, work your way to the middle. It will save you a whole bunch of heartache. Actually, no. Just a little closer. Here we go. Gaslands D next. I'm going to give it the D. Shh, I didn't say that. This is a PG stream. A G-rated stream, sorry. Alright. But, and I think he may actually have some rocks and houses, but what I do have in the commission is a whole bunch of barrels. I could literally cover the entire workspace that I'm working in right now in barrels. You know what, I'm going to shift up my initial plan just a tiny bit. God, I hate super glue. I'm sticking to everything. I had actually kind of laid him out previously to see what the spacing would be if I were to run him around evenly spaced across the whole thing. But I've already pulled the trigger, and these over here are a little more closer spaced than I intended them to be. Yo! And I just put on an A before an N. Ha! Spelling! Once again, I'm from the South. Spelling not my strongest suit. Neither is math. But I can sling a wrench, and I can gut a deer. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that the way I had initially intended to do it. Big fat blob of super glue. Big old fat blob of super glue. And some super glue catalyst, because I'm not so much lazy, I just want that to set. But no, like when I'm doing freehand, for instance, I also play Warhammer 40k. I have here a Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Rhino with the front dozer blade from a Lehman Russ. When I go to paint this miniature, I will paint the whole body in my Chaos scheme, but I intend to do the front dozer blade with the words Cadia Stands across it. So I'll block in C and S for stands, and then CA and DS until I get to the proper spacing across all the way. And I'll do it in pencil initially, and then go back in and block it in with either a paint pen or with ink, because that keeps it to where it's semi-translucent enough to where you can really just base coat over it and scratch over, and whack on, so to speak. But depending on what you're doing, like right here, like I said, I lined it all up before I started laying everything out, so I knew that I needed this kind of spacing on these speakers, and that I was going to get these two letters in here in between those speakers before I go. But same technique. If you've already got like letters that are uniform size, you can just go ahead and block it in, and you start from the outside and literally work towards the center, and that way everything's even. Or you can mark the outsides and then literally mark the middle, and with a pencil, like I said, go back over and just write whatever you're trying to freehand into it. Oh, and now I gotta put that little piece get lost. Need to magnetize those bits. But yeah, if you have any questions, Nayef, please feel free to ask. This is what I'm here for. I'm not here to make hundreds of millions of dollars in YouTube monies. It'd be super cool if that happened, but I'm just kind of here to help fill in some of the gaps that I found whenever I was first getting into hobby modeling. Well, gotta glue that in. Haha. It's silly, right? But thank you for joining the stream. If you don't mind asking, what is your native language? Because I am curious where people tune in from, because I don't get a whole lot of international views, so when I do get them, I like to know where they're coming from. And feel free to whisper that to me. You don't have to reveal your location in public. I don't want any of that. I just, if you said something about your English and I wasn't, you know what, now I'm just going to shut up and go back to gluing stuff together. Boop. Oh man, and it's super kid friendly because I've got a 5-year-old, and she's actually a little young for it, but she enjoys moving the cars around. She enjoys rolling the shift dice. She just enjoys it in general, I have to say, because children's enthusiasm is matched nowhere else. And if her car flips over 14 times and blows up, she's okay with that, because she had fun. Alright, so there we go. Gaslands! And I gotta figure out what the hell I'm gonna do with these, because no, I've got a couple of more speckers. Speckers. What all the speckers I got? Well, you dirty butthole. Yeah, these speaker kits, they're little 3D printed jobbies. My man, alright, focus. It's not bad sculpts. They're not amazing sculpts by any means. Some of them are much better sculpts than others. But let's see. Etsy. He got them all from Etsy, and I wish that I could say that I knew anything more than that, but that is the long and short of that. They're everything that you need to search, especially for Gaslands, if you're looking for parts to order from the internet. It's all in HO scale. There we go. I like this one. It's already got glue in the bottom, so I'm going to. Alright. One speaker that way. No worries, brother. Like I said, sharing the knowledge. But yeah, HO scale fits very, or rather, Hot Wheels fits almost perfectly in scale with everything HO scale. And especially for what we do with Gaslands terrain, it's good enough. No one's going to harass you about it being out of scale. Alright, that's the top of a speaker. That's the bottom of a speaker. Alright, so we've got speakers facing in and we got speakers facing out. We've got speakers facing all about. Speakers all over. Alright. Client doesn't want any skulls. I want them because I want to go as Mad Max as possible with this. But, he doesn't want it as post-apocalyptic-y as I initially started, because when I started this project, I was playing a lot of Fallout. I went and rewatched the Mad Max movies, because why not? Hey man, take the ideas and run with them. All I want to do is inspire somebody someday. Oh golly. Super glue, come off of my finger. Alright, I'm covered in super glue. Alright, and I got a couple of speakers left over. So what I'll probably end up doing with these is making a couple of speaker piles where we've got speakers facing in all directions. That's what it is. So I'm not trying to remove a whole bunch of material on this. I'm literally just trying to make sure everything sits flush. like I said, just gonna glue some speaker piles together. I like that these little speakers fit in the tops with just enough room. Give them a little twist. No, no guitars. Lots of barrels. Lots of barrels. Alright, let's check that out real quick. While it pulls up, get some glue run. Oh, they got the doof. Nice. I actually need this. That's great. That's fantastic. He's freaking tiny. He is small. 20 millimeter. I am used to painting in 28 mil. That is kind of small. Neat though. Might have to find one of those. Alright, so now that I'm done digging in the box, come over here. This. Alright, it's that time of the night again where I grab my airbrush. And we're just going to grab some black craft paint. I'm going to take some clean water. And just a little bit, a very tiny bit of airbrush flow improver. And then a brush that is already wet. I'm going to mix that up in the bowl. Mixing it up in the bowl. And back in the soak you go. Alright. And then I can put the lid on that. I mean, kinda. I mean, I've always told you guys this, you local guys, if you watch my stream, half of my stream is teaching a class. Alright. I will say, an airbrush is one of the most convenient hobby upgrades anyone that likes themselves and actually truly enjoys painting miniatures can do for themselves. Alright. And if we're not lazy, alright. How quick was that? I just did the whole base coat on that in like 2 minutes. I feel like that guy from the Disney Atlantis movie. This pillar must have taken 1,000 years to carve out. Boom! I made it into a bridge. It took me like, what, 5 seconds? On that note, an airbrush will literally double your hobby time. Like, it's a guaranteed way to instantly take half of the effort of doing anything out of doing it. Base coats, priming, everything, literally. I use it for more than I don't use it. And the only reason that I won't be using it on the barrels is because I intend to use so many coverage. Colors! Ooh, I can't talk. Do a Land Raider. You want to buy me a Land Raider? Because I'll paint a Chaos Land Raider. Prime a Land Raider? I mean, okay. Again, Games Workshop's Chaos Rhino took 5 minutes to prime this, and dry to touch. I have super glue all over my fingertips. Come on, focus the fingertips. Focus the fingies. Super glue everywhere. Alright, I'm putting the Rhino away again because I don't need it, and I'm feeling crazy, cuckoo crazy. Death Watch. But I love Xenos and Heretics. Alright, and yes, I'm cutting this out like a freaking jerk, but it's because I didn't really want to damage it that badly, but I wanted to keep the Reaper Black Series card. Speaking of, time to do a review. Alright guys, so those of you that were patrons with us in the month of February got your hands on this beautiful beast. How do you even go on your base? You can't. Oh, like so. You are going to be a pain in the butt to paint. Alright, so we have in my hands the Reaper Bones Black Series. Black Series Owlbear. Are you really going to keep finding things to focus on? Alright, focus right here. Right here. Up here, guys. I wish I could, like, literally manually focus the, edit the focal distance. I can. Alright, so we have the Reaper Black Series Owlbear. I mean, it's a standard Bones mini. You're going to have to do some filling. The plastic, on the other hand, is a whole nother item. I no longer have my Were-Rat. Anybody that's built a Nolzur's mini is familiar with this kind of plastic. It's a little more resilient. I mean, a lot more resilient. Ooh, I found a casting defect. Or is that a casting artifact? Not an artifact. It's just where the plastic cooled differently. Anyhow, really good quality sculpts. I mean, fairly detailed for what it is. And the scale is... Pickle Rick for scale. I mean, it's not a bad little scale. G-Dub Pot for scale. Not a bad little mini. I have dropped the base. Again, this is a good, almost hard resin. I'm going to go ahead and say that it is in fact a resin. Comes with a nice base. This stuff is already a cut above the Bones material, which is very flexible. It's pliable. It's low-end miniatures. Brand new Reaper Mini. Ooh, that white. All of this is pliable enough to be bent. I mean, I'm afraid to exert much more force than that on the miniature. So, fairly resilient minis. Reaper already does a bang-up job on good minis. And as much as you can't see anything on this mini because he's so white. There we go. Good looking minis. But I can dig the owlbear. Me and the owlbear's gonna be friends. I'm gonna paint him up here shortly. Anyhow, we were doing a clean of the airbrush because we're about to switch colors and go ahead and block in the next color on that, which will be a brown color. And I'm going to start with a nice nutmeg. Again, I'm using craft paints on this because these are not high-end minis by any means. I don't particularly want to use my high pigment paints on this. I'm probably going to end up using a bit of burnt sienna in it because I have to, which is going to add a little bit of an orange color to this wood tone, this brown tone that I'm working on. But what I am happy about is the consistency of the paint coming out of the airbrush is already pretty much spot on for what I want. Turn that light back on. So, oh, it would help if I put the nozzle back on my airbrush. So, airbrush doesn't work without a nozzle on it, and I've got to alright, here we go. Alright, here we go. Test that color. Oh goodness, there's something inside of my brush. Oh goodness. I've got something really backed up in here. Alright. Oh, emergency airbrush fix. Not coming out very consistently at all. Alright, I'm actually going to take this opportunity to break down my airbrush completely real quick. And oh, that's what it was. Alright. Oh, that's much nicer already. Alright, this is the equivalent of scrag or a color I've never actually used. How have you never used this, you say? How do you know you've never used it? I just peel the plastic off. There's consistency. Oh, garbage. Oh, no. Some more water mixed in with it. to not have to mix any more of this color. It lives? Where are you at, Mr. Rome? What up, boys? So, actually, Rome, what bit rate are you getting to watch the stream at? Alright, ladies and germs, it is time for me to take a short break. We've been going at this for an hour, which isn't all that long, but I've actually been going at this for about 2 hours, because I won't talk to you guys about the pre-work involved with getting the stream ready and all of that, but sorry to those of you who just tuned in with me. I will find a way to reach out to you, those that I can, and I will actually be able to chat with you while I am away from the stream. But I do need to take a brief pause. I've got to run a quick errand. Probably got to get cigarettes, and as much as this thing is supposed to be saving my life, I need to wear a cigarette. So, because I'm an old man, let's take my pill. Because heartburn is real, y'all. Sweet tea. Alright, y'all hang with me. I'll be right back.
them.
Alright, we're back. Woo! Welcome back, ladies and germs. I hope those of you that had the patience to stick with me through that short break are still here. Thank you for sticking around, those of you that did. And welcome back to the stream. Alright, so I am torn. I need to actually not be torn. I need to check my airbrush's temperature. The compressor tends to run a little warm these days. But I'm going to take some of this khaki color. And add a fair bit of it to the brush. And a little bit of flow improver. And a little bit of water. And then with a nice brush, I'm gonna mix that all up. Maybe just a little too thin. All right. Alright, well the airbrush is rather full. Oh. And that is an issue. Little paint booger building up in front of the nozzle, which I don't particularly want to have. It is only going to impede and there's something stuck in it. I just cleaned this brush, y'all watched me. Oh. Well, that's a bowl of paint wasted. And this happens quite a bit on my stream. I end up cleaning my airbrushes at least once on each stream. What is it? What did you smell at? Oh, that's dripping everywhere. Alright. Alright, looks like we're mixing things in the bowl this time. There is something lumpy in this paint. Oh, it's a giant freaking lump. Oh, no glove, no love. Alright, so this brings me to a point that I talk about all the time. Cheap paint versus good paint. That was just a miserable experience just then. Alright, so I have wasted airbrush flow improver, and I'm not going to spend it on this round. And mix that up right here in the cup. That's even coming out just a little thick. So again, that's running a little thick, but no buts. Go ahead and thin that way down. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Then using that cup, oh look, nice, consistent. Oh. And yeah, I kind of changed direction in the middle of this, so don't judge me too hard about why'd you go such a dark brown and then immediately paint khaki over the top of it. I got a plan, just got to go ribbit. And when I say go ribbit, that's a really long inside joke that I'm either prepared or willing to go into. So, y'all have fun with that one. What I am going to do is I'm going to put this in that. Pull out this because I've got just a little bit more of this khaki to shoot at some things. Well, this is one of the things about working with inconsistent paints, especially in an airbrush. I went from just the perfect amount of paint to overspraying in a matter of seconds. And on these direction markers, I don't even know what to properly call these. Anyhow, the reason that I'm putting the khaki down in the first place is a base coat for coming back to these yellows. Oops, I went my keyboard. Nope, y'all couldn't see that at all. Alright, so again, the purpose of the base coat on this khaki, I'm going to attack this with some grays. Awesome. Perfect. Good night, sir. Thank you so much for checking in with us. I appreciate you watching with us tonight, and hopefully you can catch us tomorrow, where we'll be doing some 40K. We will actually be doing wargaming, which is dope. So check in with us. We'll be playing some 40K, and I'll be back to streaming on Thursday night, normal painting, which will be more of this. And it was great to have you check in with us. Have a great night, sir, madam. Well, Gaslands will be as soon as I get this project done, because the commissioner has been chomping at the bit to get me to teach him how to play it once I have the terrain all finished up. Alright, so what I think I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to begin working on dry brushing some grays into this. That's a green. I need to lab paints tomorrow on the way to work. Now, it's this one. Which is amusing to me, because this, good night, color I'm about to pull out is the same gray that is my Tausept gray. Whew, that's lumpy. I'm gonna have to buy some more of that. But this guy is painted in that same gray. There's a couple of spots on here that are thin that I know of and would go back and do again, and will probably not do with the same color, with the same brand of paint, whenever I go to paint my other two Riptides. This one is primed. One is unprimed, and one is fully painted. Y'all know how that is. And when do I need 3 riptides? Some Tau players would say every game. I'm of the school that you need 3 riptides about every Apocalypse game? Maybe 2K? I don't know. I've got mixed opinions on the 8th edition Riptide. He does a couple of things really exceptionally, and a bunch of other stuff really mediocrely. Mediocre. What I'm saying is he's kind of a schmuck. Okay, so what this gray is going to do is, to the naked eye and the camera, not really discernible. I can see it. And it's pretty much what I wanted to do with this, so I'm kind of happy with how this is turning out. I may need to go just a little bit lighter or darker. Oh! That gets a reglue. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do at all. Alright, so what this is doing is a cheap and easy way to bring up the wood grain in all of these benches. I don't know if you can see it on the stream or not, but there is just some fantastic wood grain inside of this. But I want to give this just a little bit of a sun-bleached look to it, which is the whole point of the khaki and the grays. And already you can just see that wood grain starting to pop up and out. Even just this front panel, you can see it on this. I think you can see it on this. No, I have it set to autofocus. I don't have it set to autofocus, so it's not going to focus on my but long story short, the whole purpose of this is to just do some quick and easy weathering. Too much. Alright, now we are on to the next step. Which I'm going to take this whole thing and wash everything. So I need one of you to work. Alright. Oh, I may have over-thinned this just a skosh. And I'm being pretty consistent with the coat. I don't want any coffee staining. So I'm making sure to go back and touch spaces that are either light or heavy. These stairs are going to need probably a wet brush run over them. Alright, shout out to BMC. If you don't know who BMC is, go to YouTube, and those of you that are following on YouTube, at Black Magic Crafts. He's a Canadian cat who does some really, really, really amazing Dungeons and Dragons miniatures and terrain for the budget hobbyist. He does a lot of DIY tutorials, and I really dig his channel because he does a lot with not the best of things, but some of the best things that you can do without having to invest a whole bunch. That's always been something that's important to me, is overcoming that initial pay gate. Alright. I'm not really worried too much about the letters accumulating too much, other than more worried about the wall swallowing up this ink. Alright, so it's gonna dry and hopefully not be nearly as dark as it is right now. And if not, like I said, that is an easy somebody. Oh. Is that timer lying to me? No. outside and you watch over my work while I go take a quick smoke. Alright, we're gonna cut for another break, and then I've got a little bit left in me after that. We'll probably start painting some barrels or something. I don't know. I'll pick a thing out of the project box, which is enormous and stress-inducing. Alright, y'all hang out. Enjoy the tunes brought to you by No Copyright Sounds. Enjoy this license-free music.
I dream too much. I tell myself that I can't stop. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. That I can stop. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. Clearly now. Clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. I smoke too much. I drink too much. I tell myself that I can't stop. We could see clearly now. 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 Clearly now. could see clearly, can stop. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now.
Oh, hello, my babies. I'm back. Oh, it's another night. Um, talking to myself. Lots of the delicious sweet teas. Alright, so, now that that has mostly dried, I think that we're going to take just a little bit. That's not what I was intending to do. Of this What do you do with my... Oh, there it is. Cream color. And our dry brush. And show you the brilliance This is just, again, pulling up those high spots back up to a nice weathered wood. Alright. I missed a big old spot. Hey, that's what you get for painting from one direction. Alright, y'all, I'm not sure anybody's even still watching this. Twitch says I got 0 viewers, which I'm inclined to believe because another viewer. That's all bots. Facebook, I'm gonna call it good night to y'all, because it's 30 minutes till 9 o'clock. I'm gonna wrap it up for the night. I've been going at it 2.5 hours according to the stream. Hey, math. But I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. I want to thank all of you who are watching this on the restream for giving me your time. I know that this wasn't exactly very informative this time, mostly because I was face down in work. But catch me here on the live stream, here on YouTube Live, Facebook, on Twitch, whatever your preferred VOD, or whatever your preferred streaming service platform is. I'm on all 3. Catch me on here, send me a direct message, leave a comment. If it's something that I have addressed previously and can link you to a video, I will. Or if I know, I said this at the beginning of the stream, I am doing this to provide easy access to people, or to information that I had to hunt down and drag out of people and forums and whatnot for months before I had a straight answer on anything. But anyhow, I just wanted to say, out of my ring. So thank you for giving me your time. If you like me, smash that follow button on Twitch. There's a bell somewhere down here. I mean, probably directly down here. On YouTube. Smash that like button. Hit the share button. Send it around to your friends. Gaslands is great. We'll be playing it as soon as I have all of this terrain finished. And if you guys stick with me, we'll get back to normal miniatures. We've got Mr. Barbarian on deck still. We've got Lady Deadpool, which I started several weeks ago. Along with, can't forget the baby Jesus. I am still painting the nativity set, which is great because, I mean, nobody's got videos of painting the Reaper nativity set. I've already done some of it, and I will do some more on it eventually. But I'll be back here tomorrow starting at 6 o'clock. Actually, probably tomorrow starting at 4 o'clock. We'll be streaming the front room. I will try to have a bit of interaction. I can't promise that, mostly because really, while I'm out there in the front room, I don't have a way of interacting with y'all. Maybe I'll find a way. I'll find a way. Wish I had my laptop still. That would just make life so much easier. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. I'm calling it a night. I've been the Rick TM. You have been joining me here in the Gamers Domain Paint Hole, and I appreciate all of you and your time. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock for War Games.